everyone, welcome back to the channel. So over the last couple of days we've been persevering to get the wood chipper up and running. I was going to go yesterday to the Suffolk show, but unfortunately it's been raining on and off, so I spent all day yesterday with a company called Norfolk Hydraulic Hoses, and we managed to get a larger 3/4 return, free flow return hose for the crane which operates and runs the chipper. So now we're finally up and operational. We also had a message from a subscriber, and somebody said, why don't you, instead of chipping over the road and bringing the wood chip down to the yard, why don't you just bring the wood down to the yard and then chip it directly into the hopper, which is actually a really good idea. And we've got the chute over here and we can blow it literally across into the shed, and it's a much better solution. It works really, really well. So here we go, we'll give it a go. You can get like some real big 500mm chippers. I had one offered to me, and they are really nice chippers, the 500mm Hack and Jen's chippers. But some of those machines, anything which is like 500mm, you're talking £100,000 for the chipper, which is quite a lot of money for a chipping setup. And for our boiler, which goes through anywhere from 80 to 100 tons of wood a year, if we can make our small £24,000 TP chipper work, which they're designed and built in Denmark, if we can make this work, then we'll be happy days. It'll be really worthwhile. And remember, this is a job which we're doing ourselves rather than using a contractor, if that makes sense. So, you know, the idea is that it doesn't cost a huge amount of money, you know, in comparison with a contractor, if that makes sense. So, you know, as long as the job's getting done, and as long as we can process the amount of wood we need to heat the whole farm. Already I've noticed the improvement of having our own chipper, because these last few nights I've been able to have a nice warm shower and hot water from the taps, you know. And we used to use oil on the farm to heat all the houses, but the trouble is with oil, it's so expensive at the moment, and a lot of this wood is just waste wood which we can either buy in or find from the farm. So it works really well, and it's a cost-effective solution to our heating problem. You know, you get into the big chipper range, you know, you look at the 500, 600-700mm chippers, you're going to need a lot of horsepower to run them. This chipper runs anywhere from 150 horsepower up to 200 horsepower, and then if you've got a crane on it as well, you really want a machine with a half-decent hydraulic pump, up to, for this chipper, 200 horsepower. So this tractor is, believe it or not, underpowered a bit for this chipper, because it's 195 horsepower on boost, and the chipper needs 200 200 horsepower. But with the stress control, I can reduce the drag on the tractor, on the PTO, by reducing it down to 950 RPM, and it will turn the chipper off, back roll the wood, and then it will have another go. So that's why you can hear it delaying. So I'll have a go, and then it will back off, and it will go again. There you go. And that's just so it reduces the wear and tear on the tractor. It doesn't conk, also doesn't conk the tractor out as well. It's a lovely day for it, so it's great weather today. So that's the hopper filled up, and that will hopefully last probably 2 or 3 months, because it's the summer at the moment, so we're not using as much heating as we normally would in the winter, although it has been quite cold over these last few days. And I'll just show you, this is the sort of chip we're making. So I have got a screen I might put on the chipper to just take out some of these little bits which just make it through the chipper, these bits which are too long. We want a fine chip just like this bit here. This is all 15mm chip at the moment, because that's the largest chip I can get out of that chipper. The biomass boiler can take up to 25mm chip, so I can go way bigger, but it is a disc chipper, and that's the sort of chip it produces. So now that it's full up the hopper, I've got to get ready for next time. So we've got sort of the main stack here of wood, and I'm pulling any bits which I think are good and will go through the chipper out into these small piles here, and then any bits which are left on the pile which are too big, I'm then putting onto what I'm calling the splitting pile, which is over there. So that the wood over there will be split, and then all of these piles will be taken down at a later date when required, when the hopper gets low. So we've just got to add a few more logs, I reckon, to the next pile for the next time we'll do a chipping session. And then the Manitou can come up here with the muck grab, just pick up a load, take it down to the yard, and then we'll chip it down there in the yard just as we've done today. Finally we're up and running with this little chipping operation. It's only small, but it's enough just to fill the burner up on our farm and keep everyone warm during the winter months. So if you enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up. It will be much appreciated, and you can also as well follow the Olly's Farm Instagram page, which is ollies.farm, in the Instagram search bar, and I will catch you on the next one. Click here to subscribe to the channel, and click here to watch another Olly's Farm video.